Hi everyone, Tyler Manion here, NPC and IFBB Pro League Vice President. This will be your recap for the Dominican Republic Pro. First up will be Wellness, brought to you by Wolfpack. I thought this was a very solid wellness show here in the Dominican Republic. In first place, we had Daisy. Daisy is another competitor that she actually won the overall and won her pro card the day before. Comes into the pro show and ends up taking the pro show with a very, very impressive package. For Daisy, I think the main thing she needs is just a little bit more overall glute development. She also can relax her legs a little bit when she's posing. She doesn't need to flex her quads, but really the conditioning that she displayed was on point. What we want to see for wellness, it was not too hard. That's the reason why she doesn't need to flex those quads, because it makes her look a little bit harder than she was. In second place, we had Camila. Camila brought a very, very good package to this show as well. For Camila, the main two things for her is one, she needs to work on bringing in her waistline just a little bit more. The waist is just a little bit wide. And then in both of her side poses, she really poses with her feet all the way to the side. This kind of flattens out her leg and her glutes when we're looking at them in these side poses. If she was at more of an angle, I think she would look a lot better in the lower body. When she does this, she kind of flattens everything out, and we just don't see the balance and the detail and also the fullness to the glutes as well that we're looking for in these side poses. So when you're comparing these top two, what was the difference? Because Daisy needs more glutes. If you look at just the back pose alone, you would think that Camila would win. However, there's 4 poses in wellness. So it's all about the overall look. Daisy won the front pose and both side poses. Camila won from the back. So Daisy won more poses. That is why she edged out Camila in a very, very close contest. Both their conditioning was good, and overall I think they're both very good representatives of what we want to see in the wellness division. In third is Carol. The main thing about Carol is she needs to streamline her look. She needs to downsize a little bit. She's very quad dominant. She's very dense in the quads. The quads and the overall size of the legs need to come down a little bit more. Her upper body also needs to be streamlined down a little bit as well. You can see she's a little bit muscular in the upper body. You can tell she is just a competitor that has really, really round, full muscle, but it's all just a little bit big and a little bit too dense. And I think because it's a little bit big and dense, you can see that her conditioning needs to come down just a touch as well, just because she has that muscle. So it makes her look probably a little bit harder than she would look if she was streamlined down. Overall, though, I mean, she has all the attributes that you would need in wellness. It's just the size-wise is the thing. She needs to be down. We don't want to see girls that are that big. She very, very polished package, though, and that's the reason why she could still beat so many of the competitors that were in this show. In fourth, we had Melanie. For Melanie, again, another competitor that was just a bit too hard on the hard side for conditioning. She also needs to add a little bit more fullness and development to her hamstrings. You can see, especially in the side poses, you can also see from the back, she basically is very quad dominant. She doesn't really have any shape to her hamstrings in the side poses. You can't really see anything from the back as well. And then another thing for her is I think she's wearing her suit a little bit too low, especially in the front. That doesn't help the waistline and how it looks and everything else. So I actually see probably too many competitors doing this nowadays. The suit being really low in the front actually makes your waistline look worse 99% of the time. So I'm not sure why girls are doing this. It really ends up probably only hurting your physique. So I would suggest not wearing your suits that low or making sure you're getting suits that fit you better, especially in the front. Next up, we had Figure. For Figure, and first we had Nadine. Nadine brought a very, very good look to the show. I think her physique overall has improved a ton over the last couple of years. Really for her, I think conditioning-wise, she was just a little bit too hard with the conditioning. She needs to be a little bit fuller conditioning-wise. Other than that, I think her back pose has improved a lot, but she can still add just a little bit more V-taper and width to that back pose. But from the front and from the sides, I thought she looked really, really good. If she can nail the proper conditioning, which means the proper fullness with her conditioning while still having that slight separation, I think she can be very dangerous at the Olympia. In second place, we had Adela. I think Adela improved from when I saw her earlier this year. Her conditioning was pretty good overall. I just think the main thing for her is she still needs more depth and detail to her back. That's number one. In the back pose too, you could still see she can add just a touch more width and taper, but the main thing is depth and detail because it's just a little bit still too flat. But I do think it was improved from when I saw her earlier this year. You see she also presents very well and has good balance in the front and the side poses. So once that back really comes up, she'll be back in the mix. In third place, we had Lauren. For Lauren, she needs to improve the depth and detail in her back. She can also add a little bit more width, especially to the lower lats. I think she can add just a touch more size to her legs. And then also she was just a little bit hard conditioning wise, especially in the quads. But overall, she brought a balanced package with what she brought here, and it was pretty polished. In fourth, we had Sayonara. Sayonara needs a little bit more overall size to her legs. That's from all angles, from the front, from the side, and from the back. You can see she has very good taper, but she needs more detail, which means she probably needs a touch more depth to her back. And conditioning wise, she can be just a touch more conditioned to strike that rate balance where we want to see in figure. Overall, I think the girls brought good balance to their physiques, and it was a good top 4 here. Next will be bikini. In first, we had Alice again. I think Alice brought a little bit of a better package here than I had seen the week before at the Battle of the Bodies. Again, for her, it's the same little details. I think just a touch more to the upper glutes. I think she can stand up just a touch straighter in that back pose. Don't bend over. She's bending over just slightly too much. And then also just seeing a touch more detail to the midsection. But conditioning wise, the conditioning was very, very good. It was on point. We saw that fullness that we want to see in bikini. Really for her, I think it's just slight tweaks and slight details that's going to elevate her even more. But again, a very good look for what we want to see in the bikini division. In second place, we had Graciela. For Graciela, I think she can pose a little bit better in her front pose, display a touch more of that hourglass shape that we're looking for, and it will make her front pose look a little bit more balanced. In the back pose, I think she just needs to be a touch tighter in her glutes especially. This will make her physique pop and it will enhance her look. But again, I was impressed with her. I'd never seen her before. In third place, we had Winifred. For Winifred, the main 2 things she needs to work on is adding some more depth to her glutes. She also needs to work on adding a little bit more development to her tie-in area. And then for her, she is just a little bit on the small side right now. She can add just a little bit more overall fullness to her entire physique. But as you see, she has a very balanced physique. The front pose is very, very strong, and she has all the tools to keep moving up in the pro league. In fourth place, we had Evie Care. She's another competitor that just turned pro the day before. I think she brought a very impressive look going right to the pro stage. You can see she's a little bit thin in the upper body. She needs to have a little bit more upper body fullness to balance out the upper body to the lower body. She can also add just a little bit more development to her glutes as well in the back pose. But overall, I think she has a great structure and she has a lot of room to improve and really fill out this physique and become a very good pro.